years since I got to do that. So I will call the meeting to order. Roll call, please. Roll call, please.
Mayor Canode?
Here.
Mr. Amberlin?
Here.
Back there, hang on.
Yeah.
Whoops. There they are.
Ms. Greenfield?
Here.
Ms. McCready?
Here.
Mr. McNeil?
Here.
Mr. Rivera?
Here.
Ms. Manara?
Here. Notice of this meeting was provided to the Bernardsville News and Courier News, filed with the municipal clerk, and posted on the municipal bulletin board on December 27th, 2021, and supplemented on April 21st, 2022, with notice for the change of start time to 6:30. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, thank you all for being here. This is our first in-person public meeting in 2 years, and I couldn't think of a better way to start it out than having our new officers, and we have so many proclamations to do today, I'm going to be hoarse by the end of the day. So Kevin, I will turn it over to you. We're going to start with our new patrolman.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. Again, on behalf of the borough and particularly the police department and all our members, I want to thank you all for coming here and joining us tonight. We're so happy to have you be part of our police family here, and I'm glad that you could all attend. It's been a long 2 years. It's nice to get together in person. So we do have a few official swearing-ins to do tonight. The way we're going to do this, well, I'll call the people up that are going to be sworn in. We're going to do 2 at a time. And then as you're doing it, if one family member wants to stand up and take a photo or something during the ceremony, that's fine. But we're going to ask right now to come forward. I'm going to ask Cole, Brian Smith, and Andrew DeMayo, and your person is going to hold the Bible for you, whoever you choose, to come forward. And Andrew and Cole were both hired in November. They were not able to be sworn in person. They were sworn in virtually on the Zoom program, if you got to see that. But tonight we're happy to be able to do this in person. So Andrew, why don't you come over here? We're in the front. Or you come over here. Okay, hold on, but there's a new system here. So where's the
Might actually make sense.
Well,
We can hear.
yeah, I guess so. Sorry. First time. Yeah, you guys go in the center and just have your support person come next to you with the Bible. So Paul, who's your dad, right? So swing by.
Promise the next paragraph.
And slide all the way there. You go.
Right.
Perfect. All right. Back over here.
This work.
Is that work?
Yeah, you can see.
Is everybody?
Nice. There you go.
Keep going, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, I got myself.
We ready? Yeah, now we got the flag. That's fine. Go ahead.
Please raise your right hand, put your left hand in the Bible, and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Paul Brian Smith,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of New Jersey,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and the government established in the United States
and keep the government established in the United States
and in this state under the authority of the people,
and in this state under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of patrolman, faithfully, impartially perform all the duties of patrolman
all the duties of patrolman
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and that I will not use my office to grant preferential treatment,
and that I will not use my office to grant preferential treatment
nor to seek personal gain, favor, or advantage
in order to seek personal gain, favor, or advantage
not available to the general public,
not available to the general public,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Chief, Chief, can we ask them? if-
Yes, I'm going to ask to come.
Who's here with them? just
Sure.
So we can meet.
So would the family of Cole Reismith please stand? Great. Good.
Let's stay here.
You take it.
Oh, my God, I was like, no. Supposed to get a picture. Okay, good.
Your hands there. So this. This is totally unrehearsed, and none of these actions were on the test. So. The next group is going to go a lot better. Okay. I'd like to ask Chris Laporta and Tyler Schwartz to come up with your person who's going to go back. So you know the drill, right? No pressure. Tyler,
Please raise your right hand, place your left hand in the Bible, and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Christopher Schwartz,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of New Jersey,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance to the same,
and to the government established in the United States
and to the government established in the United States
and in this state under the authority of the people,
and in the state under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform all the duties of patrolman
and justly perform all the duties of patrolman
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and that I will not use my office
and I will not use my
to
office
grant preferential treatment,
to grant preferential treatment,
nor to seek personal gain, favor, or advantage
to receive personal gain, favor, or advantage,
not available to the general public,
not available to the general public,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
before you step down, I'm going to ask Tyler's family to just and friends to please stand up and be acknowledged. Thank you. The support his family. Okay, next I'm going to ask, we have two promotions to the rank of sergeant tonight. We'd like to bring up these people to be sworn in as well. We recently had exams for sergeant, and I'm going to ask Sergeant Justin Alt to come forward. And I'm also going to ask Sergeant Timber to come forward with yours. Yeah, sure.
Raise your right hand, place your left hand in the Bible, and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Justin Holt,
You solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New Jersey,
and the state of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will take allegiance to the same
and to the government established in the United States
and to the government established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
and the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform all the duties of sergeant
and justly perform all the duties of sergeant
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and that I will not use my office
and I will not use my
to
office
grant preferential treatment,
to grant preferential treatment
nor to seek personal gain, favor, or advantage.
or to seek personal
Gain
gain,
Favor, or
favor, or advantage
not available to the general public.
not available to the general public.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Justin.
Yay, Tim! Yay!
So before you go over there, Justin,
Go, Jut.
Justin's family is on.
You did it, Jet.
His brothers, John and Dad,
Congrats from California.
from California. Technology is a wonderful thing. His family, just, great. We have another promotion for swearing in tonight. I'd like to introduce Captain John Remian. For those of you who do not know him, he's the second in command of the Bernardsville Police Department. And he's here tonight. He recently was promoted to the rank of captain. So John, you can come forward with your white hand. Solo, you're gonna need help with the oath part, so you have a word of.
Well, I was gonna ask Jack, do you have a copy of that so I can read it? 'Cause that is- It's not easy.
I'll make the brace short. Raise your right hand, place your left hand in the Bible.
Left hand on the right hand.
Exactly.
All right, we go.
I, John Remian, do solemnly swear
I, John Remian, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New Jersey,
and the state of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will bear your
true faith and allegiance to the same,
true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the government established in the United States
and to the government established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform all the duties of captain
and justly perform all the duties of the captain,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my abilities,
and that I will not use my office to grant preferential treatment,
and I will not use my office to grant preferential treatment,
nor to seek personal gain,
nor to seek personal gain,
favor, or advantage
favor, or advantage,
not available to the general public,
not available to the general public,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Captain. Okay.
We have proclamation, but you can, yeah. So
Yes.
we have a proclamation, but I think if you want to take the seats, now that we kind of know how this technology works, I think John and I stand over there. So we're very proud of all these officers tonight, our 4 new patrolmen. It's our honor and privilege to have them join us. We feel very fortunate that we were able to find such good candidates and good applicants with experience, and they seem bright and young and energetic and eager. So we're really looking forward to a long career for them and their successful addition to the police department. So thank you for bringing them to us. Thank you for coming. Thank you to the other members of our police department for attending tonight as well to support them. And thank you to the council and mayor for supporting our police department. So we have one more presentation tonight. Former Lieutenant John Gardner. So we're going to sneak over here for this one, I think. I'm going to let the mayor do the honors.
Okay.
But we're going to stand over here. I don't know if the camera works on there. Let's see.
We have a proclamation of the mayor of the Borough of Bernardsville. Whereas Lieutenant John Gardner began his employment with the Borough of Bernardsville on December 1st, 1987, as a member of the Bernardsville Police Department. And whereas Lieutenant Gardner has served the borough and its residents for 34 years as a police officer responsible for preserving the peace, enforcing the law, ensuring the safety of our residents and visitors in the borough on a daily basis, and coordinating emergency response services during various emergencies and extraordinary weather events. And whereas throughout his career, Lieutenant Gardner has proven to be conscientious, well-organized, and always willing to assist members of the public in a courteous manner. And whereas during his career, Lieutenant Gardner has mentored many new and well-established police department employees, always willing to share his experience and expertise with others for the good of the organization and the community. And whereas during his career, Lieutenant Gardner has provided leadership through supervising personnel assigned to the patrol division within the Bernardsville Police Department. And whereas during his career, Lieutenant Gardner has coordinated, supervised, and trained the borough's school crossing guards in an effort to ensure the safety of our school children traveling to and from school. And whereas Lieutenant Gardner is appreciated for his dedication and service to the community, and his presence will be missed by the members of the police department, borough employees, and members of the community. Now, therefore, I, Mary Jane Canos, Mayor, by the authority vested in me and representing the Borough Council of the Borough of Bernardsville, do hereby congratulate Lieutenant Gardner upon his retirement and recognize him for his accomplishments and thank him for 34 years of dedicated service to the Borough of Bernardsville.
After 34 years, you said he's speechless.
Council, Chief Valentine, this really got me in my heart, this proclamation. There's a lot of guys that worked here many a nights. Greg Skinner, former chief of PPAC, we spent a lot of time on night shift together meeting. Chief Valentine, worked with him nights. It's a long career. John Remy and I worked a lot of nights with him. I'll never forget those nights. And I want to wish all you young guys, I know we hired guys and they bust their chops. I say, geez, when you started, I wasn't even born yet. I did a lot in my lifetime before you were born, let me tell you something. But I want to wish them and my fellow officers safety and enjoy the rest of your career. And thank you again for tonight.
did work an occasional day shift in there as well. And we have a retired lieutenant staff for him as well. So congratulations, my honor. Thank you for your service.
Oh, we missed the football coach. That's right, you coached my son. Yes.
That's on the.
All right.
Okay, thank you. That'll end the police presentation portion of the meeting tonight. So if anybody wants to stay for the rest of the budget hearing and those proclamations, you're welcome.
Yeah. So, come on up, Jeff.
There's one thing about zoning officer, they don't have to clear. Zoning officer, go.
What's that? That place?
I guess. Yeah.
You want, you coming with me?
Okay. Yeah, let's go with it. Oh, yeah. And I have to say, Leo Horowitz did a wonderful job organizing a retirement party last Friday. It was wonderful for Jeff. We had a great turnout. So I will read you your proclamation. Whereas Mr. Price began his employment with the Borough of Bernardsville on January 1st, 2016 as zoning officer, and whereas Mr. Price has overseen the large project of getting non-conforming two-family dwellings into compliance, and whereas Mr. Price originated a shared service with the Bernards Township for fire prevention that saved the borough money, and whereas Mr. Price has reviewed all applications to the planning board and board of adjustment and provided a zoning review letter on each application, and whereas Mr. Price reviewed all zoning aspects of applications for building permits, such as use, height, stories, setbacks, floor area, impervious area, topography, grading, stormwater compliance, and driveway provisions. And whereas Mr. Price attends and provides reports for the monthly housing, zoning, and property maintenance compliance committee meetings. And whereas Mr. Price implemented the zoning application permit, something that did not exist prior to his employment with the borough. And whereas in the beginning stages of downtown revitalization, Mr. Price attended multiple meetings to give his expertise in many areas in order to get the project off to a good start. And whereas Mr. Price helped organize the move of the construction, zoning, and housing departments from Borough Hall to the lower level of the library, which was a seamless transition. And whereas Mr. Price always has been a dedicated employee that would go the extra mile to help residents and do what's best for the borough. And now therefore, I, Mary Jane Canoes, Mayor, by the authority vested in me and representing the Borough Council of the Borough of Bernardsville, do hereby congratulate Mr. Price on his accomplishment in years of service to the Borough of Bernardsville. And you're the only one that got 2 pages of the proclamation.
I would just like to say that people wake up and say, I'm gonna go wait in line in the zoning office, never. But at the same time, you know, Jeff treats everyone who walks into that office and requires the assistance of that office with great professionalism. It is a very difficult task to encourage people one way or another to comply with the laws that we put in place here with respect to zoning and construction and other things, and he did a great job. And I know we ran out of room on that proclamation, but another impressive thing is that Jeff teaches his craft at Rutgers. So he trains throughout the professionals throughout the state who do what he does. So, and I'll just say, you know, I've been here about a year, 3 or 4 months now as administrator, and Jeff has been an outstanding colleague, and I just want to thank you for making me feel welcome here. Sorry that- Thank you very much, Matt, Council. It's a pleasure working with you. Every day to me is not really work. I enjoy what I do, and I'll miss it for a while. But I have things I need to do. And one of them, I'm going to write a book. And every one of you is going to be in it.
I hope you're changing the name.
I'm changing that. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
I know it's fun.
No? Yes.
We have basketball guys here, yes? We have the coaches yet? Coaches here? Jason, oh.
I'm here, but
Ferdinand?
he's running a few minutes late coming from Gill.
Okay.
Son at practice.
That's okay. We got time. So, yes. And do you expect more of the team or is that? what you got?
We got one home sick. Ferdinand obviously has the son with him, so I don't know about the others. Not sure. Marshall said he was coming, so
Okay.
we only have 10. altogether, so.
Yeah.
And, you know, Alex, I see, folks, you guys don't have to be
Yeah,
shy.
you come in. Come on in.
I know this is, so guys, this is budget night, we expect all to stay as we review the municipal budget.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not kidding.
I think the wrestlers on that list too.
Yeah, the wrestlers are coming at 7:30. So we're trying to arrange so parking doesn't get crazy. Because it's always hard to park here. But in the meantime, while we wait for Ferdinand to get here, we can approve the minutes. So do I have a motion to approve the minutes of March 28th and April 11th?
I'll move the minutes of March 28th.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll approve the 28th, but I missed the 11th.
Actually, it's still approved, but that's fine. Okay. I don't think we're going to do the open session yet. We have to, so, Anthony, what do you want to do about the, can we do the open hearing on the?
You could, it is
Oh, it's
7
after
o'clock now.
7, yep.
So we're good.
There's a
We
glass of
can
water.
do that.
Marshall, come on. All right, so I will open the public hearing on ordinance 2022-1912, allowing holders of certain alcoholic beverage manufacturing licenses to sell their products at the Bernardsville Farmers Market in amending chapter 3 of the Borough Code entitled Police Regulations. Would anyone in the public like to be heard on this? And this is just, what was the four, we already had the wine, so this was the distillery. The distillery, yes, so that's the farmer's market.
And Anthony, since we're using a new system today, we have to open up the web.
Yeah,
Yes, if anyone online would like to speak, they can hit the raise your hand button. I only see a few people online.
yeah. Is that everyone? We seeing
Yeah,
everyone?
that's everyone.
That's everyone. It's in the top right.
Yeah. But yeah, the people do have the option of do the raise your hand button on this.
Okay, good. All right, then I will close the public hearing, seeing no hands up. And this is police, so public safety, that's Gina, right? Yeah.
I move to pass ordinance 2022-1912 on final reading and adopt as published. I'll say.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Amorite,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mr. Freed,
Yes.
Mr. McQueen.
Yes.
Mr. Romero,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Well, I can do that. We can do regular open session, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will have an open session for the public, for anyone in the public who would like to speak. Just give your name and address and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Anthony has this cool little timer here that, what is it, goes green, yellow, red,
Yep.
so it'll time for you. So if anyone from the public would like to speak at this time, please indicate by raising your hand on, what we got on Zoom, it's still Zoom. Anthony, you'll have to check.
Yeah, there's no one raising their hand.
Okay, and we will have another open session at the end of the meeting if anyone does not get this opportunity. Okay, I will close the public session. And we will move on to introducing. So we're just introducing. So would someone like to move 1913? It's either finance or. Okay. Want to do it? Yeah.
We can withdraw it.
Right.
I move that ordinance 2022-1913, salary ordinance for employees of the Borough of Bernardsville who are members of the Public Works Employees Association be introduced by title, passed on first reading, published according to law, and that a public hearing be scheduled for a meeting beginning 7 p.m. Monday, May 9, 2022.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Everybody's seen the agreement?
Yes. Oh, I think you're all here. There you are. Okay.
D, is that everybody?
That's all we have.
Oh, no, that's great.
We got one on the, up here, he's sick, but he's in on the Zoom.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Jack Travel.
And
He should be somewhere.
I personally think we should make it safe for this. For the discussion on the budget.
all right, well, we are so happy that you are here with us tonight. We have a proclamation for each of you. And this was a recreation league, correct, Bob? And Bob is our recreation director.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to parents and the coaches. It was an incredible season. Many reschedulings due to Omicron, whoever hit us next. Bouncing around with me and myself, trying to reschedule as much as possible. Once in a while, we slipped up, and no one ever held us accountable. That was great. Thank you so much. But it was great how this community really came out. The coaches, parents. Right here, I have two ski club chaperones and a basketball coach. So really, they helped us get this winter programming. It's excellent. I'm so happy the kids were able to do this. And it shows that we were practicing during COVID while the other people weren't.
That's great, thank you. So I will read the proclamation, Whereas the Jersey Basketball League is a top-notch youth basketball league with approximately 400 teams from numerous diverse towns. Whereas the Bernardsville seventh grade boys won the championship by beating Union, Westfield, and Berkeley Heights in the playoffs and defeating Kittatinny in the finals. Whereas we do hereby acknowledge and congratulate coaches Ferdinand Hamada and Jason Sean, along with the outstanding basketball team members, and I hope I don't mispronounce your names, Sean Arkelay, Ben Ballion, Andrew Dean, Marshall Douglas, James Ferranti, Alex Fromfelder, Nathaniel Hamada, Daniel Senior, Jason Sean, and Jack Travers. Now therefore, I, Mary Jane Canos, Mayor of the Borough of Bernardsville, by the authority vested in me and representing the Borough Council of the Borough of Bernardsville, do hereby congratulate the Bernardsville seventh grade boys Jersey Basketball League champions and proclaim Monday, April 25th, 2022 as a day of celebration recognizing the achievements of the team. And we have a copy of this proclamation for each one of you. So, Coach, I'll let you do the honors, and I don't know if you want to say a few things. Say a few words.
That's right up his alley. No, that's it.
You were late.
I'm really good at passing things out. He's a very good speaker.
Okay. So I guess on behalf of the team, this was really special when Mayor Coates reached out to us, and we just wanted to thank the town for their continued support, not just in the playoffs, but throughout the whole season, and then especially in the championship. It really was special to see the whole town come to our games and really cheer the boys on. And the boys deserved the whole championship. They worked so hard throughout the season, and it was a great season, and this is just a cherry on top. So thank you.
Thank you.
And also, none of the parents of the other towns liked us. They didn't like any of our fans, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, this is our first back in-person meeting in 2 years, so we wanted to make sure that this was a perfect opportunity to have them come and recognize the kids for their, it's just not the same on Zoom, so we're so glad you could come.
Thank you so much.
Go get another one next year.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We'll repeat. 8th grade.
8th grade, that's right. You can do it again.
I have 2 on there.
And I hand signed every one of those. So did Anthony.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we have the wrestlers.
Budget's coming next.
Yeah.
That's the wrestlers as well. We got basketball.
You guys touching on property taxes tonight or no?
They're staying the same. Tax rate is staying the same.
Okay.
Turn on Zoom when you get home, Jack.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for remembering.
No, I just want to get it from the.
All right. So I'll let you introduce the next one.
I'll move the ordinance 2022-1914, bond ordinance providing for the improvement of various roads in and by the borough of Bernardsville, so appropriating $1.1 million that authorize additional to $750,000 bonds or notes of the borough for financing such appropriations. The introduced by title passed on first reading, published according to law, and the public hearing is scheduled for the 7th hearing on
Questions, discussion? This, I believe, is for the Berners Avenue project.
It is both part of the budget as well as the debt reduction.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, yes.
I need to abstain as well.
Okay, so we get two
We
abstentions.
need to remember that next time we have a.
I know, in case we need a quorum. Yeah.
Remember, for final adoption, we need 4 affirmative votes, so everyone else has to be here for second reading.
Remember
Now, is the mayor allowed to vote on?
No,
circumstances of retention?
we'll need,
Only for a
we'll
time.
need all 4 of the affirmative votes
Right.
for second reading.
Yep, that'll be Monday, man.
Yep. So put that on your calendars. We are going to pull 22-107 from everyone. Yes, from the resolutions to discuss an executive. So then we will come back out of executive to vote on that if necessary. So that one we're going to pull. Does anyone have any discussion on 2299 to 22-106?
Yeah, I just had a brief question about 22-103 and 104, not an objection, just a question. So I know that the issue of sidewalk engineering has come up. Were these two selected as part of a master sort of priority list, or were they just because, I'm not on the committee, so I'm asking you.
They were selected because they were on the public safety, the police department's
Priority
priority
list.
list,
I
and
thought
they
so.
were 2 and 3 on the list, and we thought that those would be more valuable to do than one, so we picked those two. Then the road, yeah, that's, okay. And this is, what they're gonna do is a basic investigation, a concept plan, and cost estimates, so then, yeah, it'll just give us an idea of what's a feasible project.
Like I said, I wasn't objecting, I just was curious in regards to the choice of both.
And Tom, we spoke to our email, but just there is, we verified that we have the right of way to be able to put a sidewalk in, correct?
All right, any other questions or on any of these? You okay with the hardship exemption there?
Yep.
I think John is okay with that. Okay, so, Alan, would you move them?
I move that resolutions 2298 to 22107 be adopted. 106. I move that resolutions 2298, 22106 be adopted.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
Mr. Rivera,
Yes.
Mr. McQueen,
Yes.
Mr. McQueen,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Mr. Randall,
Yes.
Right, 22-108, adoption of the 2022 municipal budget. I will open the public hearing on the municipal budget. For those that were at the last meeting, we did a presentation which is on the borough website. It was a PowerPoint as well as more detailed narrative. And it was interesting, we had about 50 or 60 people actually look at it, so that was good. Need to know people are reading about it. Would anyone in the public like to be heard on the 2022 municipal budget? Anyone online?
No.
Okay, I will close the public hearing. Take it away, Chad.
Yeah, I'll move that resolution 22-108 to adopt the budget, for adoption of the 2022 municipal budget be adopted.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Randall,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
Yes.
Ms. McQueen,
Yes.
Mr. McQueen,
Yes.
Mr. Rivera,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
Great. Congratulations to the finance committee,
Yes.
Tom, Mayor, rest of the council, thank you for your support.
Yeah.
And to Leslie, who's not here tonight.
She's online.
Oh, she is there.
Yeah.
Leslie, thank you. You are.
Yes. Oh, mayor's update.
That's
Okay.
champagne we're doing.
Yeah, right. My update on April 13th, I attended the Somerset County Governing Officials Association meeting. Lori Buckaloo was the speaker from, she's the Deputy Executive Director and Director of Government Affairs for the New Jersey League of Municipalities. They actually held it in the Bound train station, which is a restaurant, which kind of was cool because I got to see what you can do with a train station. I forget the name, I think it's called Rosie's. It's an Italian restaurant with a big bar. She went over Daniel's Law, which amends the Open Public Records Act to protect people who are in public service. They are actively lobbying for the passage of S-330 to restore the energy tax, which we all want to see happen, the receipts. And she had a list of some federal funding opportunities. This is a monthly meeting that's open to any governing officials, doesn't matter what party you're in, so we encourage council people to attend. It's really a nice networking opportunity. Meet people from other towns, see what's going on, and usually there's a good speaker. And Anthony always does a purchase order to tell him, you're gonna go. On the 16th, I had a ribbon cutting at Soho Nails. There's new owners there. And it was also my 50th wedding anniversary. Yes, I always tell people I got married when I was 8. Yeah. We had a meeting of the mayor's wellness campaign. And the, oh no, this was an online thing. That was the mental health toolkit that they have now come out with. And we have posted the committee on our Facebook page, a mental health survey. So, and we're going to try and get more of that out. Oh, and where did I put it? Here it is. I don't know if you saw the banner that's at the Polo Grounds, but it's pretty impressive. And we actually now have the plaque that we're going to hang in Borough Hall, which is for us as an up and coming healthy town. So, and this is bronze. Next year we're going for silver or gold. We've got a plan. Yep. Tom and I met with Chris Colley. We were reviewing the Transit Village application. If you remember, we had discussed getting that done. To get a Transit Village designation opens us up to a lot more grant opportunities for development downtown. So they had some questions, so we're kind of going back and forth, and hopefully we'll get that done. Also on the 19th was the Downtown Bernardsville community meeting at the theater, which was fairly decently attended, could have been more, but a lot of good information about what's going on with the $75,000 grant that they got and how it's going to be used. I believe I see Olivia there. I'm pretty sure it was reported, so you can probably, it might be on Facebook.
It's on Facebook. I
Yeah.
saw it the next day.
Yeah, so you can see it if you want to kind of understand how to use that money. We had a finance meeting with the library director and treasurer just to go over their budget and what their expectations are for future years. On the 22nd was Jeff's party, which again, Leah Horowitz did a wonderful job of putting that together. We had last Friday night, the Faces of Bernardsville, and we had over 100 people. Come on in, guys. We had over 100 people attend at Studio 7. It was a great evening. Kevin, the chief, was one of the subjects. And your picture is in Starbucks, yes? Yes, so I believe they're coming down tomorrow, but then they will be in the library. So if you want to see the portraits, they'll be in the community room at the library. And it was just a really, really wonderful project. I attended the Somerset Hills Ball Club parade and opening ceremonies. Boy, was that fun. So many kids. It was just terrific. We did a ribbon cutting at Creative Cube on Saturday as well. If you don't know what that is, it's downstairs in the Music Academy. And it's just this incredible creative area for any kind. You can sign up for an hour and do jewelry making or clay or any kind of cool things. We did get the grant funding to do the initial assessment study for conformance with the Highlands Regional Master Plan. So that's exciting that we're going to be able to do that. Yeah. And just for the public, our next meeting, we will have a presentation from our engineer on the future of the dam and what all the studies have revealed. All right, that's the end of my report. So let's get on to these kids here. You all here? Is everybody?
Not everybody yet.
Oh, we're still waiting? Okay. Oh, yeah, I got some more coaches to come to. Okay, so then I'll turn it over to Tom for his report.
Good evening. Last week was just one of those weeks where so many things came together. It just made me feel really good about all the work we've done over the winter months, and we're starting to see things come to fruition. So it just felt really good. So a couple things to remind you of or tell you about. Last year, council authorized us to start undertaking improvements to the pavers in the downtown area. We did two. We ran into two segments. We ran into a big problem with one that was taken care of. But last week, we knocked out 4 areas. So happy about that. We installed shrubs at the Butterfly Garden on Pine Street. The Buildings and Grounds crew is now painting the Claremont.
It's a beautiful red. Wow.
Yeah. I think it's called like million red. It's like
$1 million red.
$1 million red.
Oh, yeah, it's.
It's not
We've
costing us-
got, we've got the same $1 million red at Kiwanis. It works quite well.
it's not costing us that. The rec field at Claremont is going to be painted this week. We got a jump start on doing a lot of mulching in the downtown area with some of the resources that council has already put in place for us. And earlier this year, we tried ordering trash cans to replace all the tilted ones and smashed ones with the reinforced concrete ones. But with all the problems going on with deliveries these days, it took a while to get that, but we were told that order is shipped. So you'll be seeing new trash cans in the downtown area. Household cleanup at the compost facility is Saturday, May 14th. And we're also going to do an e-waste collection at the high school on Saturday, May 21st from 9 to 1.
That's great. People have been asking for that. So, big thank you to John McDowell for making it happen.
I will. And we're starting to see little improvements happen to the parks and the Rose Bowl. We regraded, we got rid of the dangerous lip that was developing there and installed new sod in some areas where it was needed. And that area ought to drain a lot better. New Jersey American Water completed Senior Drive. And I'm just so thrilled that all our labor contracts are now put to bed as of tonight. Lots of work. And clearing has started for the pickleball court. And also, in addition to the AM, either that meeting or the following meeting, we're going to hear from suburban engineers about other aspects of the Parks and Rec master plan. And,
There's seats up front. Come on up front.
I know we have a lot of members of our recreation community. That's going to be an important meeting for everyone. Recreation.
Yes.
They're going to unveil those plans.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. And that concludes my report.
Tom, can I ask you a question, please?
Lots of good stuff.
I know that you were working on the pavers downtown and you had identified a certain number. You said you completed 4 sections. How many are left of that initial plan that you had?
Oh, I don't have that number, but we're going from the worst ones
To the best.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure. I think we can keep going because none of them, we've all settled, none of them are perfect, but we're getting rid of the biggest trip hazard first.
You're okay budget wise though to keep going?
Yeah, maybe took care of that.
Budget just got approved. We're good. Now is everybody here? Is that, I thought I saw.
We got a few here.
We can wait. We have more business. So if you're not here, just let us know.
We got to wait. This is good.
This is good? Okay, great.
Anybody shows up, it's gonna be a surprise.
I said before, this is our first in public meeting in person in 2 years. So we thought, what a great way to kick it off than recognizing our sports teams. We just did the basketball group, and now we've got the wrestling. And again, Bob, this was a recreation team, yeah? So I don't know if you want to say.
Yeah, well, it kind of was. I'll tell you what, wrestling is such a tight ship. And Ed Call was 12 years. He's done it for 12 years. This program is the dream program for recreation department. Because they asked for absolutely nothing. Match team, and that's about it. So they took care of everything. They were very successful on court, obviously, or on the mat. Sorry about that. But it was a pleasure working with everyone here. And it ran so well. It's the first time I've seen something of these coaches. So thanks for all you did, Ed, Pat, and everyone else, and we really appreciate that. And this is open recruitment. Where's the camera? We need someone else to go with the program, right? All right. So everyone out there in the community, wrestling next year. You're taking over a championship program.
Great.
Thank you very much.
And Pat, yes, I know you had something to say.
I just want to say thank you for having us here tonight, everybody. Thank you very much. And my wrestling team, of course, you guys,
girls. First time we had a girl on our program this year, Addie. Yes, Ed's been with us several years. Timmy Bales is also one of my coaches. I mean, I've been doing this since I got out of high school. It's close to 40 years. And, you know, we've had winning teams, losing teams. The biggest thing is, hey, guys, welcome. Biggest thing with this program, again, like the gentleman had said, you know, we don't take all kinds of donations. We don't take a lot of things. We put this thing together and we've run with it for years. We don't ask for much. We get uniforms, we get some t-shirts. You know, we've all, as dads and different things, I haven't had a son in the program in 20 years. But we still put it together. And as far as wrestling goes, I don't know if anybody has ever wrestled. I can vouch for my team. You know, we come to practice, we practice for 2 hours a night in that gym or that wrestling room that's about 85 degrees. And let me tell you something, if you come to one of my practices, it's not easy, it's very difficult. We work very hard. We wrestle big box teams like Franklin and Somerville and Bound Brook and all the tough teams. You know, we don't have an easy schedule at all. And these kids come, and some of them have never wrestled before, and some have some more experience than others. But the thing is, we all start in the beginning, we all work it to the end, and it's a tough season. And I'm so proud of this group this year with COVID and all the stuff we had to deal with. I mean, everybody kind of got sick. We had a couple kids get sick, a couple coaches get sick. We had to shut the program down. We started it back up again. There was a lot of stuff, weird stuff going on. But in the end, you know, we won our league, which is huge. We came in second in our district, okay, which is very big. There's 12 or 15 teams in our program. We had 7 kids out of 12 in the finals. And we took 3 first places in our district, which was awesome. You know, we lost to Bound Brook and we beat Bound Brook in the dual meet. So it's the way it goes. But the thing is, after that, you know, after our season, we continued to wrestle more. We went on to state qualifiers. And what happens in the state qualifiers is they have 8 tournaments all over the state of New Jersey. There's like 20 some kids in each weight class. They only take the top 3 to advance. So when you get to states, there's the top 24 kids in the state of New Jersey. So we competed 5 kids this year, actually, from Bernardsville. And again, my hat's tipped off to this group. We've had, you know, a great season, but we're not club wrestlers. We don't do this every night. These kids are playing lacrosse. These kids are playing soccer. They're running from the soccer field or the football field, coming to my wrestling practice. And still, we compete with these schools that have these serious programs. And we still win or lose. I mean, most of the time we do win, believe it or not. These kids work very hard. So again, we took 5 kids to the States. 4 of the kids did very well. They got medals and different things at the States. And Chase, stand up for me 1 second, please. I'd like to recognize Chase because Chase is my first state champ, okay, from Bernards in 20 years. My son was the last one like 20 years ago. Anybody who's ever wrestled before, it's very serious, very tough, very grueling. We were down on that state floor for 13 hours that day in that tournament. Remember, Tim? And you know something? Trying to keep him from not getting nervous and everybody else just to do their job. There's 12 matches going on at the time. There's 500 wrestlers there from everywhere. And you want to know something? We came down to the finals, and one of those things I won't forget. You know, it went into overtime. It had to win to overtime. It makes you a nervous wreck. But afterwards, you know, we gave you the big bear hug, and mom and dad were very happy, and the whole team's happy, and Bernardsville's happy. We sprung another state champ. I mean, there's these schools, like I said, that produce all these big wrestlers. They don't even have a state champ. We have a state champ, and we're a rec program. And again, I want to thank everybody for having us. I want to thank all my guys and girls for being here. And I want to thank you for having us. I mean, this is a big deal for us. But again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
What's that?
Thanks for coming out of retirement for this.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a proclamation to read, and each wrestler is going to get a copy of this proclamation. And please forgive me if I mispronounce your name. This is a proclamation of the mayor of Borough of Bernardsville. Whereas the Bernardsville Recreation Youth Wrestling Team placed first overall in the regular season and second in the final 2022 tournament of the Raritan Valley Youth Wrestling League. And whereas we do hereby acknowledge and congratulate coaches Jeff Macy.
Jeff Macy's not here
Yes,
tonight.
okay. Patrick Riley and Tim Bales, along with the outstanding wrestling team members, Max Caldwell, Chase Caponegro, Patrick Carlisle, Blake Dakin, Alex DiPiero, Ben Ike, Thiago Montalvo, Adelaide Rice, Karsten Rice, Jordan Riley, Bentley Silva, Preston Silva, Matthew Vasquez, Nolan Walsh, and William Greco. Now therefore, I, Mary Jane Canos, Mayor of the Borough of Bernardsville, by the authority vested in me and representing the Borough Council of the Borough of Bernardsville, do hereby congratulate the Bernardsville Recreation Youth Wrestling Team and proclaim Monday, April 25th, 2022, as a day of celebration recognizing the achievements of the team.
You guys are just saying that at this meeting at day of school. Just saying.
And I'll let you hand these out.
Thank
And we also have another proclamation here that I'm going to read.
Now, are these all the same? So there's not
Yes.
individual names? in each
Right.
one, Right, okay.
It's got the whole team's names in there. This is for Chase. Whereas Chase, and I know it's Caponegro, yes? Chase Caponegro is part of the Burnsville Recreation Youth Wrestling Team that placed first overall in the regular season and second in the final 2022 tournament of the Raritan Valley Youth Wrestling League. And whereas Chase Caponegro was the 2022 USAW NJ State Champion, now therefore I, Mary Jane Canos, Mayor of the Borough of Bernardsville, by the authority vested in me and representing the Borough Council of the Borough of Bernardsville, do hereby congratulate Chase Caponegro and proclaim Monday, April 25th, 2022 as a day of celebration recognizing his state championship. So thank you all again for coming. You don't have to stay and listen to the rest of our boring meeting. Or did I say boring? Business, the rest of our business meeting. But I think Pat's gonna take you all out for ice cream.
We're gonna go practice. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for coming. I have another. Anybody have any questions on any of the monthly reports?
Not.
I have a motion to accept.
I'll move to accept the monthly report.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Committee reports, public safety. Gina.
We did not meet, right? I was supposed to be on vacation, but then I, we did not
We
meet.
didn't meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Public safety. we
Yeah,
didn't do
we
that.
expect that.
Yeah.
Okay, finance?
Finance committee, we met last week. I was in London. Mayor, Ellen, want to have a report in myself?
Well, I think you, about the library, I mean, you sort of summarized it in your mayor's report. They sort of talked about the historical budget and heard about sort of budget needs going forward in 2023 and beyond, and just kind of talked a little bit high level about the programming. And they also offered that there's members of council that want to learn more, they'll have to host us.
So, council organization development and personnel committee.
Yeah.
They're not, but, one before that was the cleaning and public works.
Contract, yeah.
Contract, and also the zoning replacement project. which we
Yeah.
already-
Yep. Public works.
Public Works met on April 19th. The dam remediation presentations, the committee participated in the presentations made by the borough's engineering professionals, and members provided input, which will be incorporated into the presentations to be made at the council's May 9th meeting. Sidewalks, the committee discussed funding the engineer to develop concept plans with cost estimates for both Old Army Road and Lower Childs Road. The resolution for that was on the agenda that was just passed this evening. Claremont Road pedestrian signage, we are obtaining pricing for new electronic early warning pedestrian traffic signage for the Five Corners intersection with the desired outcome of improving pedestrian safety. Bernards Avenue, the project will be bid when the funding becomes available, hopefully next week. 2022 Mill and Caves, the paving schedule for Mill and Caves will be to be determined based on the bid results from the Bernardsville Avenue project. Pickleball court construction began April 18th. Polo grounds walking path still waiting for approval. Recreation master plan, we're waiting for inputs from suburban engineering regarding the pavilion at Polo grounds, turf field lights, walking path linked to Audubon Trail System, and opportunities that could be available at 271 Minebrook Road location. The Bernards Neighborhood Project Grant Request, Community Funding Project Grant Request for $950,000 has been submitted. If awarded, it will fund the entire project. Replacement of the UV disinfection system due to Tropical Storm Ida is in process and anticipated to be completed in May. Good news is we received confirmation from FEMA that the temporary rental at approximately $95,000 will be reimbursed at 90% to the borough.
Excellent.
New Jersey American Water Company mill and pave restoration of Timber Rock to Sini Drive has been completed. I think they just have to do the lines.
Yeah.
Trash receptacle, downtown trash receptacles, we're expecting delivery on May 2nd. And we'll begin replacement later that week. The removal of the old receptacles, leveling areas and installing the new ones will take about 2 to 3 weeks. And that's all for me.
So just a question, I guess, for Tom. I apologize to discuss this last week when I was away. The $90,000 refund from FEMA, how will that be treated in the budget? Will go into what?
So it'll reimburse our capital, we're paying out of capital, so reimburse.
That's where I was hoping it would go, so it's going to be capital. Good.
So regarding that, we received notice today that they've also passed on and tentatively submitted the entire cost, 200.
Yeah, is that definitely? I didn't say it because I wasn't sure if it was.
Yeah, no, so we were approved for the entire cost of the project. Now we just have to submit our bills and there's some paperwork that has to go. We're going to be at 90% reimbursement.
90% for the new, yeah, for the whole new system.
Yes.
Excellent.
Great.
Yeah.
And it's usually only like 70, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, but every disaster has a different threshold, depending on how much money FEMA has and how widespread the disaster is, but normally it's about 70%, sometimes it's 50, sometimes it's more, but they upped this one at the last minute to 90%, so eventually we'll be getting back 90% of the cost to replace the UV disinfection system at this sewer plant.
Yeah, that is great. That's great. Do we have any council liaison reports?
I'll give a partial one. I was again away in London last week, but the planning board did meet based on what I saw in the paper. What I thought was going to happen happened. The Bistro project got approved for the remodel, and I just want to thank the owners of Bistro. We spent a lot of time putting together these plans for revitalization of our downtown. This is the first project that has funding to go forward by a private enterprise. So I'm really looking forward to it. The building's going to be beautiful. And it's going to be a great addition to our downtown. So, Ephraim, if you're watching, thank you.
Anybody else?
I have.
Yeah.
That HPAC met, April 21st,
Good.
the new HPAC. The committee discussed collaboration with Downtown Bernardsville Design Committee on the historical marker tour project. Bad news, it's a pipe burst in the Dunster Squibb Cottage building. There's significant damage. Pictures were taken and the adjuster was out to see the property on April 21st. Also, HVAC will be applying to the Somerset County for an historical preservation grant to be used for refurbishing the cottage. And that's the building that had the leak is the same building they're applying. And it's the cottage garage barn stable building, which is the green painted building in the back. It's not the house in the front. And that's it for HPAC. Housing, Property Maintenance and Zoning Enforcement Advisory Committee met on April 22nd. The committee discussed short-term and temporary rentals in residential properties, enforcement of the borough's sign ordinance, and discussion regarding review and potential revamp of the ordinance pertaining to commercial vehicle parking in residential zones. And open space did not meet.
Anybody else? Environmental shade tree?
Shade tree met last week
In person?
in person. That's our second in person so far this year. Next meeting, we'll be talking about revisiting the ordinance, the tree protection ordinance. So I'll have an update on that after our next meeting. They also discussed some areas of town for potential beautification. So a project was just completed on Sterling, and I forgot the street, but up by Sterling Road. So the committee essentially is looking for areas to utilize the shade tree fund in the best ways. And if there's areas where it's the borough's actual right of way, the year prior to that, we did cut the
Right.
other one.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we focused on last meeting. So the next one to be determined, but it's in part.
Good. Yeah. Environmental? James, you did- Okay.
Same with recreation. We met, right now, the recreation, you've seen all the documents. Full is being approved, all of the spring rec programs are going. There's a big thing that came out of the rec committee that I want to report, and I guess this is cross committee. There's a lot of moving parts with the rec master plan. Just a request that the rec committee not be forgotten about when things go either the public works, that we involve all the appropriate communities or committees as things go through. And then I told them I think that.
Okay.
The library met, they're not much to report, but they're looking for the results from the budget. So I guess after tonight, they'll be happy. I don't know, Chad, the treasurer, Mr. Crooks, had asked to meet with you and Tom. So I don't know if you guys have reached out
And
to
usually
him.
what we've done in the past is we usually meet with them prior to the budget and they give us their preliminary budget. But because I think last year there was agreement that it would stay the same 2 years in a row.
That's what I explained to
Yeah.
them too, so.
But we still, but it's important to meet with them and go over what their needs are. So. Anybody else? I think we covered every committee. Items of business, last meeting, we had asked about the training. Johanna had brought that up, and so there is an email from her in your packet with the links to the different training. We're required to do that 45-minute online one, and there's a link to that, and then the rest is, I think, optional, but she recommended that we look at them, because some are very valuable, depending on, what assignment you're on. So,
Mayor, I looked at the training, it's just a kind of you as you go training, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right, it's not a sign up course.
no, yeah,
It's like an interactive thing.
Yeah.
It was about 45 minutes long.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
I
she
did
said.
it. It was informative.
Yeah, I think I did it a while ago, but I probably should do it again. And we did get a letter of support listed under correspondence that went with the grant that Diane had talked about. I think it's the letter from the county. Walter Lane is always terrific about giving us a letter of support, which really, I think, makes a difference when you send in applications to have the county support with along with their master plan. So, unfinished business, anybody?
I just.
No, wait, I see, wait, Tom's
Just
waiting.
just wanted to add that we're doing the inventory of all the low-hanging wires. We don't, block by block, and we forget about that.
They actually, Verizon, the one that I brought up, Verizon just did last week. I was shocked to see them there. They were out. I think because there was an issue, I saw some people posted that they were out, something happened. And so I think they were here and they cleaned up some of the old complaints, so.
Tom, you have old wood on there, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Christine, you had something?
I was just gonna mention the stream cleanup that took
Oh,
place
yeah.
on the 23rd. This year it was led by Michelle Conover, who's a resident and also serves on the environmental commission. So she was the leader and did an awesome job. So I just want to thank everyone who volunteered. Some of borough staff also volunteered. So that's good.
Yeah, I saw Kathy Redmond here digging away. You know what I saw, and I thought this was a great idea, going off topic, but on cleanup, they had some town, I forget what it was, they did a race, but it wasn't a timed, distance race. Everybody got a garbage bag. And it was a race to see who could pick up the most garbage. I thought that was so clever.
Whenever I read this narrative one, the kids would do that anyway. They come back with their bag and say, look what I got. So it's kind of an unspoken thing.
Yeah.
Which is good.
And it's funny because there's always something really unusual that people
Yeah,
find.
so it was
like
underwear this year.
underwear. Last year it was like a whole sweatsuit that they could pull out of the river. Yeah. Yeah, right.
You can go to their website, they usually do pictures.
Of what they get.
Sad. but yeah.
I know, but funny. Any new business? Anybody have new business?
I just have one small item. A few residents asked me about No May. This is an environmental thing that popped up in England and now has surfaced in Wisconsin. So it was on NPR and many people have asked me whether they can do it or not. So you may or may not hear more about this, and I'm not really sure how to direct people, but essentially what it is a movement to save the bee population and pollinator population. So if you have a lawn in front of your house, you just don't mow it for a month. So
Cited by the zoning office.
exactly. So in many towns, there are ordinances that say you can't do that. So if anyone is thinking about that or wants to do it, you should talk to the zoning department. Because I have a great article that I shared with them that tells you what to do if you want to do it. Do it in the back of your house, do it in a portion of your lawn and make it look like more of a wildflower garden type thing instead of like.
Your front lawn.
Yeah, so this is probably, gonna get better as the years go by, so just, to be aware of, if your neighbor starts growing their lawn like crazy, that might be why, and, it's a new, I just heard about it this year, and May is next week, so.
Yeah.
Some of the recommendations are you can put a sign up that
This is
kind
what
of
you're doing.
says, this is why I haven't mown my lawn in a month, so just putting it out there.
Interesting. Okay, great. All right, our second open session, if anyone in the public would like to be heard, either on Zoom or in the audience. Anthony, is that everybody?
That's everybody, yeah, we have 4 participants.
So I'm wondering if it's something we should take from, we used to have 30 or 40 people who were just online. Now no one came online, no one came in person.
I know.
Does Heather have her hand up?
No, that's just.
I agree with that. I asked if more came online or in person, you guys are the same, but you can
Yeah.
observe.
And a lot of times it depends on what's on the agenda.
Yeah.
what's going on, So.
And I guess as a whole, we have more people here than probably ever.
Yeah.
Which is sports team.
Yeah. Okay, if no one from the public wants to be heard, I will close the public session. And we will be, if I have a motion to go in executive, we will be coming back out. Yes? Right, we're coming back.
Yes. Well, we may be coming back.
We may be.
Resolution.
Yeah, to deal with the last resolution, so we'll see, based on our discussion. So what we'll do is go in the side conference room, so if anyone wants to stay, you don't look like you want to stay, you look tired.
Long distance.
Oh, you're the tenant.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. We always just saw your name. Now we see you.
Yeah. I'm an actual person. I'm not-
Why were there always two?
Because I recorded on two computers, just to make sure
That was the real mystery.
yeah.
Move to close.
So, the motion for exit to go into executive,
Al, you're halfway.
So moved.
I'll say.
all in favor?